Tonight's first period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers and by Papa John's. The day after every Flyers win, get 50% off your online order at papajohns.com using promo code FLYERS. Only the 18th meeting all-time between these two clubs. After tonight's game, they'll have finally played more games against one another than consummated trades with one another. There have been 17 trades.
Let's take a look at our key of starting goaltenders for this one. An interesting story by the name of Carter Hutton, who has suited up in this building before, but he wore a Flyers uniform. Did not play in the game, though. More to come on that later. And Steve Mason, fresh off the win in Buffalo Tuesday night, back in, cozy in at home, where he loves to play. His record outstanding here at the Wells Fargo Center.
Flyers back in second place in the Metropolitan Division after their win on Tuesday, the loss by the Capitals last night. Look to get back to the winning track here at home after having their 10-game win streak snapped by Tampa Bay in their last outing. Flyers back in their orange jerseys. Road whites for the Nashville Predators. Jay Weber, a quick shot goes off of Braden Coburn to the corner. Now Roman Josi, a shot that's blocked in front as you look at the Flyer combinations at the top of your screen. Here is Matt Reed in across the Nashville line with a shot that's sticked away by Hutton. Fires quickly to the carom, and Couturier will spin it back around behind the Nashville net. Steaming into the puck. Backhands it deeper. Reed able to guide it along the boards to LeCavalier. He'll spin one back behind the net. The Flyers dropping back, and the Predators have the puck, and they turn it over. Here's LeCavalier turning and firing with that one off the stick. And then the glass as you look at the Nashville combinations. Another shot attempt blocked off by Weber. And David Laguan, the longtime Predator, original Predator, will move the puck all the way down the ice. Both teams making their first change as Nick Grossman headmans to Jake Voracek. Rink wide feed for Claude Giroux, handles it off the boards. By the center, blocked away by Seth Jones. And then Colin Wilson checked by Giroux. Flyers get it. Voracek a shot. And that was blocked and went to the corner. And Raffl will try to get that puck back deep. It's cut off by the young defenseman, Mattias Ekholm, 23 years of age. I'll clear the puck all the way down. This will be icing against the Predators. Gives us a chance to show you who's not in the lineup here tonight for the respective clubs. Our virtuous scratches. Pecorine, of course, the goaltender's been out with that hip injury, then the infection. Big loss for this Predators team. They just made a trade to try to bolster their goaltending. More on that in a moment. Kevin Klein. There's a scratch. Zanitz as well, the other goaltender. Zach Rinaldo is out. Eric Gustafsson is a healthy scratch, as is Rosehill and Gill. Ronaldo making good progress, though. Here's Mazzara stepping in to the slot, lost it, and then Simmons got a shot. Save, rebound, they score! Brayden Schenn pounds it home from in front, and this line goes right back to work. 1-0 Philadelphia. Schenn scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
Boy, what jump for the Flyers here in the first. Quick passes, crisp passes. Good on the face-off by Brayden Schenn. Watch Mazzaros here, though. And this pass was never intended.
Mazzaros, he just says, you know what, look, you guys want to allow me to come this far? I'm going to keep going. And then Schenn finds himself off the pipe. So now he's got Carter Hart right at the top of the goal crease area, and he's got a wide open net behind him. But what a play by Mazzaros, and what a great start for the Flyers. This is a team, Nashville, that's struggling on the road. They haven't won in 5 games. What a great way to really move in the right direction this game against Nashville by scoring the first goal.
They have not been a good come-from-behind team, that is for sure, the Nashville Predators. And so the Flyers wanted to play from the lead, and they have it just a minute and 26 seconds in. Schenn from Simmons and Mazzaros. But the Predators now camped out, 3 forward below the goal line. Check that. Moon will send it to the other side of the ice. Luke Schenn after it. And Voracek able to clear off a body to the neutral zone. Raffl will hand off to Giroux. Giroux waits back to Raffl. Slow developing play there. Now Giroux trying to hand that one off to Hall, and it's taken back the other way. Nystrom a shot. Boxed around by Mason. Makes the save. Teaming into it to the wall. But getting to that is Ryan Ellis, the mobile defenseman for the Predators. Another of their young players are hoping to really come of age. He's steamrolled by Giroux along the boards, and Steve Downey back in the lineup for the Flyers. Will move the puck into the Nashville zone. Downey playing with Hall and Chris Vandevelde. As he missed the last 2 games, Mike Ruby had a talk with him. There's more energy from Steve Downey. We'll see what he can provide here tonight. Coburn across. That's going to go out to the neutral zone. Even though they'll play it right back in. Flyers will take the opportunity to make a line change. At least 2 members of the line will. Vandevelde is heading in on the forecheck.
The only thing hockey players care about really is playing. So the great incentive is to make sure you play with enough energy to maintain your position in the lineup. And that's the challenge for Steve Downey.
Nothing worse than walking in that locker room and see that your sweater isn't in the first 12 players as far as forwards is concerned, right, Billy?
What do you mean, right, Billy?
Here's
I
Reed.
didn't mean it that way.
I know.
Take it from a guy that knows.
I know. Believe me.
There's Legwand moving up the right wing feed. Jones with a burst of speed. Cutting on in, and then he threw it across ice. Craig Smith will play it off the wall and all the way across ice. Jones probably had a better shot attempt there than pass, but thought that he had a forward down the left wing, and forward was not there. Couturier wrapped up by Jones in center. Seth Jones, all of 19 years of age. And a pin, but the officials are telling him to move it. So no whistle. Nobody's moving the puck either.
Well, I can have a conversation with one of these guys right now.
Yeah.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players.
Mazaros will drill that puck in as it finally did come out of the log jam. And here is Jones. Stopping on a dime, turning with the puck. Turning it over to Simmons for the shot. Save made by Hutton. He got his glove on it. Now Braden Shen back for Simmons. He and Jones come together. Simmons controls. He'll stuff it back deep into the zone. Hutton out of his net to play it. Moving along as Simmons steals again. Here's Shen, a shot, and that one off of Hutton to the boards. Back out to Simmons again. This line again on the attack. Wayne Simmons trying to bull rush off the wall, then twisted back down low for Hartnell. His pass tipped, and the Predators get control and move it back the other way. Patrick Hornquist will take a hit from Shen as he gets the puck into the Philadelphia zone.
Job by Braden Shen there. Forget about the forecheck. Defensively, Braden Shen forced Nashville to dump the puck in because he took away the middle of the ice. They're playing Craig Berube's system to a T.
Good play by Raffl here as he makes the steal and now heads the other way. The pass to Giroux for the shot. Save Hutton, and he'll hang on.
Boy, the Flyers are on fire. And that includes Braden Shen, Mr. Clutch. An overtime winner last week against the New Jersey Devils on Tuesday night. A game tire in the 3rd period in Buffalo. And tonight, camped out. Braden Shen has a nose for the goal, and he's patient and will wait till the puck comes to him. If you've got the puck and you're in close and he's on the ice, take a beat, take a moment, and look for him. You'll find him.
Now the Predators moving up. Roman Josi, 9 defenseman. He's all the way around behind. Out the other side. Fires into a crowd. Where is it? It was rejected in front of the Flyers. We'll move it the other way. Here's Voracek to Raffl. Raffl holds. Then the shot. Save it. Rebound. Tipped by Shea Weber, but not out of the zone. Dancing with it is Voracek. Got a weak shot off that Hutton was able to steer to the corner. Now Raffl makes the move away from Josi, but Josi then comes back to tie him up. Raffl gets it back to Giroux. Out of the point, Grossman across. Coburn shot blocked. Goes to the corner. Voracek and Weber duel there. Goes up to Clune, who could not get it past the pinching Flyer defenseman. Here's Grossman. A wrist shot. Save made by Hutton. He had to come out with Giroux right in his kitchen. Great pressure by the Flyers. Here's Voracek, a shot that goes off his skate. Predators have it going back the other way now. It's Stallberg, the former Blackhawk, but he's cut off by Grossman. So Lark Strike will play the puck. Right, moving it ahead. And the Flyers will clear it deep into the Nashville zone. Vandevelde first to it, takes a big hit right there from the defenseman back, Victor Bartley. And now the puck up through center ice and down into the Philadelphia zone. Mazaros trying to get back, but Nystrom will beat him to it. Matt Cullen trying to move it in front. Got an angle shot off that went off the side of the net. Cullen, the veteran, back to it again. Twisting and turning, trying to get away from Strike. Right a shove, but Cullen continues to control. Swerving with it, pivoting, and now all the way out toward the top of the circle. Cullen will flip a wrist shot off the glove of Mason. He was bumped by Nystrom. Play carries on as the Flyers move the puck out to center ice. That was the best pressure of the night here in the early going for the Predators, but the Flyers have already unloaded 8 shots on Carter Hutton. 4 have gone in on Steve Mason. The first meeting in Nashville, the Predators had a serious shot advantage. Steve Mason was absolutely phenomenal. He stole 2 points in that one for the Flyers. Spalling will drop it back.
That's how his coach characterized it. Greg Berube to us before the game.
Couturier trying to lay that one ahead. Couturier had a big goal in that game, tying things up. And the Flyers eventually winning on that shootout goal by LeCavalier that we showed you. But they wouldn't have had a chance to do any of that without Mason making a lot of saves, some spectacular stops. Remember in overtime of that game.
And the shootout.
Stopped them all in the shootout. Alan Wilson with speed to the Philadelphia line. Grossman's back. Gets in Wilson's way and got the puck to Braden Shen. Ahead for Simmons. He's tightly checked. And he's going to have to battle to try to get that puck ahead. Got some help though, and the Flyers will move up. Good support. Here's Scott Hartnell. He'll fire it in. It hits a shin pad. And now it's tipped back out to center ice. Collision between Hornquist and Grossman. Everybody seems to be okay. And now Grossman will drop the puck back. 8 minutes in. Glad you could join us on Comcast Sportsnet. The Flyers and the Predators. Second and final meeting of the season. Braden Shen steps in, but they say Hartnell was already in the zone. Offside. And so we will step aside. Braden Shen continues his red-hot streak. He now has 6 goals in his last 10 games. There's the newest goaltender for the Nashville Predators, Devan Dubnyk, who, of course, the Flyers saw when he was with the Edmonton Oilers. The Preds making a trade yesterday, sending Matt Hendricks forward to Edmonton for the big goaltender. And he arrived yesterday. There was some thought he'd play here tonight, but get one more day or two to rest before he makes his debut as a Predator, as Carter Hutton is between the pipes.
Supposed to be a franchise goalie, really, for the Edmonton Oilers. They drafted Dubnyk in the first round, 14th overall in 2006. So the Oilers went out and got Ben Scrivens right away from L.A., but you have to wonder where that leaves the Oilers in the goaltending department right now.
Ilya Bryzgalov and Ben Scrivens. That puck deflects out of play.
Well, back in December where the Flyers faced Nashville, in Nashville, and Steve Mason in this hockey game was absolutely spectacular. At the other end, Sean Couturier was one of the stars, and then in the shootout, Mason once again, and then it was Vinny LeCavalier. Watch this move. Is this any good? Just show a little patience, and all of a sudden you get the game winner.
Yeah, that was a big win for the Flyers. It was the start of their first 6-game road trip. They, of course, had 2 of them in rapid succession there in December into January. But they got that win, their first win in Nashville since the year 2000. Here's Matt Reed up the left wing. Centers! It goes all the way through. The Cavalier will get to it. Back to Coburn. Coburn flips when it goes off the stick and out of play.
Hey, there's something special happening here at the Wells Fargo Center Saturday night. Okay, the Flyers are playing the Islanders. That game time is 7 p.m. But how about this? All fans 18 and over, they're going to receive a voucher for free lottery tickets.
There you go.
Count me in. That's courtesy of the Pennsylvania Lottery. So call now to get great seats. And if you're over 18, the bonus.
Bonus indeed. That's ready for this one. Flyers playing their 21st home game of the year in their 48th game. It's not a lot of home games that deep into the season. And, of course, as we've said before, it'll all even out in March after the Olympic break. The Flyers have spent a lot of time at home. Simmons and Hartnell, a collision. Moving ahead with the puck is Fischer's pass is tipped. Hartnell getting back up, and he appears to be okay. Simmons is involved in the play, so it appears as though everybody's okay. Here's Colin Wilson in across the Philadelphia line. Turns with it, gets it back out to Seth Jones and across. Back home. Now it's Jones again, a little wrist shot wide of everything. Simmons over after it, could not beat Ekholm to that puck. Fischer now around behind the net, hoping for Wilson. Wilson's pass deflects off a skate, then rattles around. Braden Shen has it ahead to Simmons. Simmons turning with it right back to Shen. And the younger of the Shen brothers moves out to center. He's going to puck handle in and go after it himself. Braden Shen right on in on Ekholm with the hit. Puck bounces free. Raffle could not come up with it. The Predators do. Nystrom will send it in. Luke Shen is back. Nystrom bearing in on him. Shen got rid of the puck too quickly for him to apply the hit. So now it's Mazars ahead to Voracek. Voracek hit across the line. Just shuffles it down low. Goes after Roman Josi is there. He's checked by Raffle. Voracek gets the puck back to the point. Luke Shen tried to fire it. Blocked off by Bourque. But then off the glove of Josi and then ahead off the skate of Nystrom. Eric Nystrom and Mazars come together. The puck bounces back to Bourque. Tried to center. He's knocked down. Behind the net. Now Cullen centers. Goes right on through. Back out to the point. Here's Shea Weber. wrist shot, hit his own man Bork, and then rifled one wide. Puck will bounce to the other side and is picked off by Nystrom. He gets the puck to Cullen, who's hit by Mazaus and knocked down, but still battling for the puck. Dug free by Nystrom. He's pinned by Schenn, who also steals the puck, but then it bounces to Bork. And the Predators have the Flyers pinned in their own zone right here with just good old-fashioned hard work. Mazaus and Cullen. The puck bounces free. Now Raffl tries to reverse. That's a turnover. And the Predators get it back. Cullen to the point. Weber. Bork centers. They score, but not Nystrom and in. And the Predators tie this game at 1. They had the Flyers hemmed in, and eventually it paid off as they equalized this one.
Boy, the Flyers have done such a good job, even under forechecking pressure of Nashville, in denying scoring opportunities. This is only the 5th shot for the Predators in this period.
And watch, Philadelphia Flyers everywhere, but Nystrom's going to jump in beside Mazaros. Right here, he sees he's going to get this pass, gets the stick down, and then just redirect him. Mazaros had no idea that Nystrom was right behind him.
Now that'll end a long drought for the former Calgary Flame. He had not scored in his last 15 games. He was signed as a free agent. David Poile went out, the general manager of the Predators, and signed a whole bunch of third and fourth line kind of forwards during the offseason. One of them has already been traded, Matt Hendricks, but wanted to get this team back to its MO through the years. Hard-working forwards.
This is what they're checking here. The puck appeared to go in off Nystrom's skate, and it did go off the toe, but there is hardly a distinct kicking motion there. It went off. It's almost like Nystrom didn't even see it coming, so he couldn't have intentionally kicked it in.
Very quick review, and it does stand. Nystrom from Bork and Weber. This is a 1-1 game. Wright is knocked down. He gets the puck to Adam Hall. Hall shuffles it to Vandevelde. Vandevelde trying to make a play off the boards. He was ridden to the boards by Stahlberg. Now Hall takes over the battle and hands off to Downey. Downey centers! Vandevelde stops! Second try! Stopped again! Vandevelde looks skyward as he had a chance for his first goal as a Flyer, second in the NHL. Hutton had other ideas.
Carter Hutton of the Nashville Predators coming off of excellent saves off of Chris Vandevelde on the last shift. Vandevelde got the first one. Watch the post at the bottom of your screen. Hutton used it to push off of to get right out at the rebound so that Vandevelde had nothing else to shoot at right there. That's a heck of a play by Hutton.
Boy, he stayed right with it because Vandevelde had 2 opportunities. The first one, and then because of his positioning, Hutton was allowed himself to be able to make that save on the rebound because Vandevelde did the right thing, stayed right there and got that rebound.
So Hutton, Bill alluded to this earlier, he put on an NHL jersey for a game for the very first time in this building as a Flyer backup back in the 2009-10 season, March the 28th, 2010. Backed up Brian Boucher against the New Jersey Devils. Didn't get in any game action, but I guess you could say for the first time officially he was an NHLer that day. And now he gets to play against the Flyers.
And that was the season that you needed a long score sheet to list all of the goalies that the Flyers used.
7 or 8 goalies on their way, by the way, to the Stanley Cup Finals. What a year that was. There's a deflection in front that goes out of play off the stick of Craig Smith. He's been very hot of late, Smith has been. He's usually been finding the back of the goal net, not the safety netting for him of late. Get Philly sports news and scores when you're on the go. Be the first to know the latest on all of your Philly teams. Right from your smartphone. Download the free CSN Philly Sports app now.
I remember when Carter Hutton was in net and you went, who? Who is that guy?
Well, he was on the bench, but he dressed. Yeah, I believe we said when Carter Hutton speaks, people listen.
Everybody listens.
Off the draw. The Predators control. Turnaround shot. Hornquist was blocked, and it bounces to the corner. And now Jake Voracek. Looking to get those legs moving through center ice. The right wing feed to Giroux. Sends it diagonally back in. Raffl takes the shot. Save Hutton rebound. Tipped away from Raffl at the last moment as he was looking for it in the slot area. Mike Fisher over. And he was stopped. The Flyers dump it back deep into the Nashville zone. Tipped out to center by Colin Wilson. Hornquist grabs it at the Philadelphia line. His angle drive batted away by Mason to the side of the net. Hornquist, though, able to power through and get to the puck. Giroux, a good read. Steals the puck. Moves it out to Voracek. Voracek up the right wing, gains the line. Voracek holds, finds Streit. Streit the shot, and hit Raffl. He doesn't see it. It was right in his skates. And now it bounces to the corner, and Shea Weber is there. And he will move it ahead to Fisher, but didn't get it out of the zone. A good keep there by the Flyers, although now they're going to peel back in a line change. Gonzalez had kept it in, but for the Flyers, it was time to get off the ice. Here's Matt Cullen. Gave a report for a shot. Save Mason. Couldn't control that rebound. And it's forced loose. Back out. Point shot. Jones ricochets off a couple Flyers. Ekholm rolls it around behind the net. There's Cullen. Cullen. The pass tipped by Luke Schenn. Didn't get much on his clear, though. And now it's Cullen getting it back. At Cullen. He's worked down low as he's done for so many years. Centers it. Bourque could not hang on. And the Flyers are able to clear as Hartnell gets it out to center ice.
I know the Flyers had a bit of a defensive breakdown on the goal that Nashville scored, but other than that, anytime Nashville has been in the Flyers zone, even if they stayed there for 20 seconds, Flyers are denying them scoring opportunities.
Coming away from the Wells Fargo Center. That's us along with our great crew bringing you the Flyers and Predators. Bucks it all the way down to the icing against Nashville. Inside the glass, as always here at home, Mr. Steve Coates.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. When we take a look at the head coach of the Nashville Predators, the only coach that the Nashville Predators ever had in their 15 years in the National Hockey League. He's 15th all-time in wins, 539 trails. Only Billy Ray by 4 right now. He's moving into 14th. And also 3rd right now, only behind Lindy Ruff and Al Arbour as far as coaching the same team.
Yeah, and he's 2 games away from tying Lindy Ruff. As Lindy Ruff, of course, had his long run with the Buffalo Sabres. And then he'll just have one guy ahead of him, and the one guy is going to take a little while to catch. Al Arbour, 1,500 games behind the bench and 2 stints with the Islanders. But that is impressive given he is the first and only coach of the team, Barry Trotz.
Very impressive. What the numbers don't show is that Barry Trotz is one classy gentleman.
Indeed.
Really a nice man, yes.
And he paid his dues as an American Hockey League assistant coach and then later head coach and then assistant.
Oh my goodness, the Braden Coburn ever just get absolutely drilled by Paul Gostin. Let's keep an eye on Coburn because he went head first right beside the bench.
Staying out there. Predators get the puck here. Now a penalty against the Flyers for Giroux coming up. Delayed call. Stahlberg after the puck in the corner. He's herded to the wall, and there's your whistle. So Giroux will head to the box. Coburn trying to make sure he's okay. We'll be back.
1-1 the score here between the Predators and the Philadelphia Flyers, and Braden Coburn. He's appears to be okay, but boy did he get drilled by Paul Gausted right to the right of the Nashville bench. Now watch as Coburn's going to go against the wall and Gausted is going to come in a little high and then just drill Coburn head first. That's a non-call. Then at the other end, here come the Predators, and Giroux gets a little bit aggressive with the stick and a tripping call, and the Preds head to the power play.
Claude tried to shed Exhibit A, which he did.
Might have made it look even worse, actually, as it went flying in the air.
It appeared like the prosecutor was right there, though.
Yes.
And the Predators power play goes right to work. Mason getting over to the other side of the net as that one nearly bounced out in front. You got to look at the Flyers at the top easily in the National Hockey League in penalty minutes per game. And that is an area that continues to get the attention of their head coach. 2 good units here. 7th-ranked power play against the 7th-ranked penalty kill. The Flyers' best bet, though, here tonight in terms of diffusing this Nashville power play is to stay out of the box.
And if they can't do that, try to keep the puck away from Shea Weber.
And he is really the hub of this thing. Oh, big hit. That is going to be a penalty. So Timonen hits Josi here. And to me, I'll have to see the difference between the 2 hits. But Timonen will get penalized. And the Flyers are going to be 2 men down.
Well, I think the distance is going to be the difference, Jimmy, as Josi's going to get up. Now, Timonen right here is going to lick, and Josi's a little bit farther away than Coburn, but still the same thought process. See, right there, the responsibility is on Josi. Josi's actually daring you to hit him from behind, setting himself up along the wall like that, Billy.
Yeah, you know, I get it. I also get that when you position yourself 4 feet from the boards and get hit like that, you got no choice but to fall into the boards, and at that point, the ref's hands are kind of tied. It's kind of an automatic call these days.
Yeah.
Flyers in tough situation here. Van de Velde getting some two-man down time. Does a great job of getting that puck out of the zone. 1:08 remaining on the Giroux penalty. And you can bet they're going to try to get this puck back to Shea Weber. There he is, number 6, hit across the line. Going to set it up, gets it to Legwand. So they are set up with 55 seconds remaining in the two-man advantage, and they're very deliberate about getting into their positions. Now they set it to Fisher. Back out. Ellis across to Weber. Legwand. Limiter passing thus far. Legwand looks now, fires. That's blocked. Weber gets to it.
They wanted to get Weber on his off wing for the one-timer, and they finally have him there.
Here's Fisher. To Weber. Right back to Fisher. Angle shot. Fires will give that one up all day and almost made its way out to center, but it was kept in nicely. Weber gets it back. Out of Legwand. 15 seconds in the 5-on-3. Legwand holding on. Continues to hold. Now center. Loose puck. Mason comes out. Makes the save. Mandeville a chance to clear. Couldn't. Hall couldn't get to it either. Flyers will get one man back in a couple seconds. Out of the box jumps Giroux. It's now 5-on-4, but look out. Here's Fisher. Cross ice. Legwand, and he scores. It is 2-1 Nashville. It is a 5-on-4 goal. So the power play time is over. But the Predators able to jump on top as Legwand got that one through.
The Flyers were that close to killing off the 5-on-3. All they had to do was take away one more seam pass. Claude Giroux was out of the box and back in, but the Flyers chased a little bit. And Legwand was open for the seam pass, and he made no mistake. That's a pretty darn good shot by David Legwand.
It really is, and Legwand got himself away from the traffic. You talk about that seam pass, that east-west play that you're obviously going to see an awful lot in the 5-on-3, and Mason can only cover so much room. I mean, he came off the far pipe. You anticipate that play across the goal crease area, but just not in time.
His 8th of this season, his first ever against the Flyers, and this is 15th career game against them. He now has just one other team, Winnipeg Jets, that he has not scored on in his NHL career. Legwand is on the board against the Flyers, and he's given his team a lead. Fisher and Weber the assist. Weber has 2 helpers already in this game. Flyers had killed off, well, after that first penalty had expired, they had killed off 31 of their last 32 man-down situations, but Predators find a way to get it in. Here they come with numbers again. It's a 4-on-2. Cullen gives off to Nystrom. Back to Cullen. Cullen hits the post. Now the other way. Giroux a chance to move back in transition. Being chased by Nystrom. Giroux has the puck. Turns with it. And then Giroux fires it blindly to the slot. Nobody was home. Lazarus can get it to LeCavalier. He's checked. Cullen takes over. And now it's backhanded by Nystrom, but not out. Braden Shen keeps it in to LeCavalier. Hit it off the back of the net, but lost it. And it's cleared out by Seth Jones, I should say. And now Lazarus gets to Simmons. He's checked. And the Predators have it back. 2:15 remaining in this first period. Started with a roar from the Flyers, but the Predators now have the lead and taking advantage of penalties and playing better hockey. Certainly over the second half of this period. Turnaround shot by Clune got caught up in skates. Simmons turns back with this. And he'll drop it to Lazarus. Now the other side to Simmons. He'll move forward. Wayne Simmons up the right wing. Plays it diagonally in. Shen takes a tumble. And the Predators able to clear. Timonen has to hustle to keep Legwand away from this. And now Coburn with a pass for Timonen off the mark. Kept in the zone by Ellis. Legwand around behind the net for Nick Spaulding. Spaulding back to Legwand. Predators now the territorial edge of play, no question about it. Coburn for Simmons, couldn't get it out. Coburn another try, no backhanded to the neutral zone. Never got through to Hartnell. Cut down by Craig Smith. Sends it behind his back into the zone. Coburn having difficulty with the forechecking of the Predators. And Spaulding in on him. Kicks the puck to Simmons. He threw it up the wall, but Fisher was waiting for that. His pass to Yossi off the bench. Yossi had trouble controlling. He's got it now. Back out to Fisher. Fisher dropping it off for Roman Yossi. He'll roll it around behind the Philadelphia net to Craig Smith. Smith trying to work away from Timonen. Hands off to Fisher. Fisher tried to play it off the back of the net. Now Wilson tripped up by Simmons. Flyers got lucky there. No penalty. And they'll move it ahead. Here is Reed. The line off to Couturier. Couturier back for Reed. He was checked. Couldn't get the pass in the middle. Intercepted and sent out to center ice by Yossi. Now tipped to the Philadelphia line. Hornquist after. Hornquist wrapped up by Mazzaro. Downey in there. He's sent into the pile. The Flyers get the puck. Luke Schenn firing it across ice, hoping for Reed, but it catches instead Shea Weber. The final 15 ticks of this first period. Alan Wilson turned back by Couturier, and the Flyers steal. Here's Reed moving back with it, hoping for help. Downey's coming. And now the puck right through Downey with that shot, and the save made by Hutton. One last shot from the boards is blocked, and that'll do it for period number 1. The Flyers outshoot the Preds 12-10. Got the first goal, but then the Preds came back. And Legwand's power play goal at 16:35 has them on top after 1. Tonight's Flyers-Predators first period was brought to you by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. By Powerback Rehabilitation. Gives patients their power back by getting them home sooner. And by Supercuts. Check out supercuts.com to find a convenient salon location near you. Rock the cuts at Supercuts.
And a reminder, the Flyers Wives Carnival is just a week from Sunday. It's your best opportunity to meet favorite Flyers players and alum guys, and kids tickets are just $15. There are also options for the whole family. So go online to flyerscarnival.com and grab your tickets right now.
John Bork and Rick Tocchet are next with analysis of that first period as our coverage of Flyers hockey continues on Comcast Sportsnet after these messages. There's Ovechkin, 7 goals clear of the field in the NHL in terms of the Rocket Richard race. Corey Perry of those Ducks is second. Crosby and Sharp on the board as well. And he had a slump, but clearly he's still scoring goals. The Flyers actually, Bill, got off to a better start in this game. Scored the first goal, played a good first 10 minutes, but wind up down after the first period, which has become a bit of a trend of late.
So it'll be so interesting to see how this plays out, because the Flyers have really made a strong case for the strong starts not mattering very much. They certainly have finished strongly.
Yes. Those comebacks, 7 of them in the last 22 days, 8 for the season, have erased some of those bad starts, and they're going to need that to happen again here. The Predators, on the other hand, are very difficult to come from behind against, and if they get that third goal, nearly impossible to beat. The Flyers, they really want to shut them down at this point. There's a backhander in a goal that was smothered by Mason.
You haven't seen the switch that the Flyers have on their bench recently, having that switch go on, then all of a sudden they make great comebacks. But I talked to a couple of players about that. They don't want to make that a habit. This is not something that they want to have happen every game. Obviously, they get a little bit of a jam in that first period because of the penalties in the latter part of that period. But as Billy said, certainly it was Nashville's half of the period.
Draw here to the left of Mason. Mark Sprite will fish it out of there. And looks to start up. Offside to Grossman. His pass tipped. Braden Schenn over after it in the neutral zone. Grossman poked at it. There's the Sprite right at his own line. Got it as far as the line. Braden Schenn couldn't get it further. Diligent stick checking there by the Predators. 2-3. Different examples of it right there, giving the Flyers trouble and continuing to right here. Fisher twisting and turning in the corner, centering it. The shot, Hornquist went off a body and wide. And what you have to do is match that effort. There's a shot in front, Hornquist, that's blocked. It rolls to the other side of the ice. Hornquist is on it again. They roll it in along. Braden Schenn will push it ahead, but not out. Craig Smith to the puck, the leading goal scorer for the Predators. It's it back to the point. Set down there by Jones. He'll roll it around behind the net. Legwand. Right cut in to tip it away from him. Simmons will move the puck to center. Riley takes over there, though, and gets it right back to Smith. And now it is Spalling with the puck. Wrapped up by Simmons. Drops it back. Craig Smith, the shot save made by Mason.
Well, if experience down the middle counts for anything, the Nashville Predators should be all set. If you look at their centers, David Legwand's been with the organization 14 seasons, but you combine his experience with Mike Fisher's, Matt Cullen's, Paul Gaustad's. There's Mike Fisher. 51 years of experience in years served in the NHL down the middle, compared to the Flyers' 12.
That's a bit of a difference.
Just a bit.
Here is Matt Cullen, one of those veterans, backhanding it right on through the blue paint.
Certain experts will tell you that if you're big in the middle or good in the middle, that's the way you win hockey games.
Predators again getting to a loose puck. Coburn comes up with it and banks it down the ice. Jay Weber will get to this, so no icing.
This is a fine line between being experienced and getting old, and that's what Nashville is going to make decisions on in the next few years, obviously.
Come up on a 3-on-2 here. Yossi, the pass, the shot by Bourque, and the save made by Mason. Flyers clear the puck up the wall, but the Predators are all over that. Nystrom back around behind the net, out of the reach of Coburn. Now Paul Gaustad gets to it. Oh, Coburn wraps him up. Giroux will chip it ahead to Voracek. And now he gets it back from Giroux. Voracek, the shot! Save. Hutton, it drops right in front of him, and he covered long enough to get the whistle. One of his teammates came in and bumped into him and knocked that puck away. Well, Giroux heads back to the bench. We tell you about tonight's Jeep Trivia question of the game. Who did Nashville defeat in the 2011 playoffs for their first playoff series victory in franchise history? It's either Detroit, Anaheim, or Colorado. I'll give you the answer later on. Predators have been a team that's been in the playoffs pretty consistently here of late. Last year missing for only the second time in the last 9 years. But they haven't been able to go on any lengthy runs once they get in the playoffs. Enticing. This year it's going to be a real push for Barry Trotz and his team. They have fallen back in that West, and it's so competitive.
Sure is. Notice Barry Trotz, when he turns, he doesn't have much flexibility in his neck. When he played junior for the Regina Pats in the Western Hockey League, he actually broke his neck in multiple places and finished the game, traveled overnight by bus, and played again the next night with multiple breaks in his neck. And whoa, look at this.
Mazzaro skating on in. Center, loose puck. Couple Flyers a whack at it. Hall and Avelli, they couldn't do anything with it. Now the other way with speed. Go the Predators. This is Stahlberg with a shot. Save Mason. 3-on-3 the other way for the Flyers available now. Downey. And he'll push it in diagonally to the Nashville zone. Hall tried to get in on Ryan Ellis. Downey to the puck. Bumped in the corner. Backhanded long. Bounces out in front just out of the reach of Couturier. Couturier will flip it around behind the net, but Hall stopped by the defenseman Bartley. Has it again. Now Ryan Ellis ahead for Gaustad. He was interrupted by Lecavalier, but still able to tip that puck to Hornqvist, who clears into the Philadelphia zone. We'll get back to your story, Bill. We've got to finish that story. Very interesting as Reed will wind it into the Nashville zone. Out to Seth Jones and ahead. Hornqvist will chip it from the blue line, but it hit the curved glass in the Nashville bench. As you were saying. Did you wrap up the story? Because that's quite a story.
Well, the broken neck that Barry Trotz suffered.
You left this year. He was on the bus.
Well, he played even the next night with a seriously broken neck, and naturally there was a lot of calcification, so he doesn't have the movement of the multiple vertebrae where the breaks occurred. And as a result, when he turns, you see when he wants to turn his head, he pretty well has to turn his shoulders.
Those are the days that you didn't dare tell anybody that you were hurt. And that's probably what he did, no matter how much pain he was in. You didn't let anybody know.
There's always somebody ready to take your job, right?
Yep.
Bucket to the Philadelphia zone. Craig Smith trying to find some room. Sealed off by Timonen, but Colin Wilson picks up the battle. Now it's Smalling will backhand. And that one blocked off. Coburn to it, but turns it back over to Smalling. Rolls it in along, and the Reds look to go to work in the offensive zone again. Craig Smith centering. Flyers are there, but they just played finally ahead. They were fortunate that got through out to the neutral zone.
Flyers had 4 failed clears in the first period. One of them got them into trouble on the 5-on-3 kill.
Here's Hartnell moving in. Hartnell shifts, cuts, but couldn't get the puck on goal, and then Weber takes over. Hartnell gets in his way. Braden Shen trying to fish the puck out of there. Could not. Roman Josi will jab it ahead. Simmons knocked it down. It bounces across ice and is tracked down by Josi. Roman Josi, who played for Switzerland in the upcoming Olympics. Angle shot. Goes off of Mason all the way out to the other point. Ekholm got it into the corner. Cullen knocked it down. Couldn't do much with it, though, and the puck is cleared. 6, make that 7-1 the shots now in favor of Nashville here in the second period. Cullen off the stick of Gabriel Bourque into the Philadelphia zone. Luke Shen for Mazzaro. Diagonal passes to Downey. He'll pump it into the Nashville zone. Try to get through. Ekholm's checking, which could have been deemed interference. Now it bounces back. Vandevelde tried to get it to the point. It hit the referee. And Nystrom moves back the other way with it. He'll send it deep to Philadelphia ice. Grossman, long found by a couple of Predators. They come away with the puck. Colin Wilson tried to center it. Nystrom gets it back out. Seth Jones across. That home shot goes wide. The other side of the ice. Predators are on that. Hornquist will send it around behind the net. Now Mike Fisher backhands. Hornquist to the puck. They protect the puck pretty darn well. They'll hand off to Fisher. Fisher to Wilson. He's pinned by Vandevelde. Fisher in after. Strike works on him. Hornquist takes the puck and plays it around behind the net for Wilson. Wilson backhanded right out in front. Flyers are there, and Strike will clear. This will be icing.
Well, the Flyers want to match Nashville's D-man in jumping up on the play, and one guy that's done it here is Andre Meszaros in this game. He was right there for a rebound to start this period, and a Jake Voracek shot. Dancing at the blue line, and then charging forward. If he just could have gotten that through, somebody had to tap in. And I think Andre Meszaros can be really effective. You know, he's going to get caught once in a while, but it's such an element and a dynamic that teams need in today's NHL.
8 assists in his last 9 games. And, of course, he's not on the power play. So he's getting those assists at even strength, and many of them have resulted on rushes like that, where he creates something using his legs. Puck goes out of play. We've played just over 6 minutes of period number 2. Quitted Mercer University game notes. Well, the Stadium Series certainly is shaping up. We'll show you time lapses here. Langenbrunner retiring as well, but Chavez Ravine, Dodger Stadium becomes a hockey rink. Never thought it could happen, right? It's happening before your eyes right there. Yankee Stadium also is going to be the site of a game, actually 2 games. And so the rink going in there, Dan Craig very busy these days.
And Jamie Langenbrunner has called it quits after a tremendous career that saw him win Stanley Cups in both Dallas and New Jersey with the Devils. Always a glue guy right to the end. Somebody that was a value to every team. Just at some point, like every player, you just run out of legs because you've run out of years.
Yeah, it happens to everyone eventually, but he had a solid career. 2-1 hockey game here. Predators will come out playing very well here in this second stanza. Have had the territorial edge. They've picked up where they left off in the second half of that first period. Now the Flyers with the puck, they'll send it in. Back goes Bartley. Play it up the wall. Nystrom couldn't get it past Timonen on the first try, but he eventually kicks it to the neutral zone. Couturier makes a move and then flings one deep to Nashville ice. Ryan Ellis back to get it, 23-year-old defenseman. 11th overall pick back in 09. A lot of blue chippers in the blue line for this Nashville team. That puck batted ahead. It's a hand pass because Cullen played it in the neutral zone.
Well, let's take a look at our Geico quote of tonight's game with the Nashville Predators leading 2-1. Talked to Matt Reed about getting back in the lineup after missing 7 games due to concussion-like symptoms. I felt good. I thought I'd be out of shape, but I was well rested and my legs were good and things kind of went my way a little bit, but it was just 1 game. Usually you come firing back, then you have a little bit of a drop, and then you come firing back again once you get into that hockey shape.
Yeah, he might be feeling a little bit more tonight. Often is that second game, as you said, Coatsy, where those legs feel a little heavy.
A couple of shots in the first period.
And they're going to have to drop this puck again. Giroux line out for Philadelphia. Giroux goes against Legwand. Yeah, a lot of talk going on before they drop this puck. And the Flyers gain control. Right to Voracek. Voracek trying to get off the wall, but staying right with him was Josi. He's a fleet-footed defenseman. Voracek trying to cut back in, lost it before he got in the zone. Now Giroux will just wind it deep. Bounces right out in front. Rafa! Oh! Hutton comes falling out to make the save. There will be a penalty, but what a stop by the Nashville goaltender to keep his team on top.
Shaking my head. Michael Raffl looks like he's in shock, and he should be. Hutton completely out of the net. Michael Raffl just tried to cup his stick and get it on net because it was rolling.
Oh. And because it was rolling, Billy, he just wanted to be able to get that puck within the 6 feet, but he went to the side that Carter Hutton was coming back on, and bang, there's Hutton. You think that'll make a highlight reel?
You know what, Coatsy? That defensive play with the stick, it kept Raffl from shooting the puck into the middle of the net, and there's no way Hutton would have gotten to it. Oh.
So the Flyers do get a power play out of it, with Legwand disrupting Raffl, and perhaps the goal-saving play, along with, of course, the heroics of Hutton there. But the Flyers with their first man advantage of the game. Here's Kimmo Timonen moving up. Drops it back to Giroux. Giroux in across the line. Will chip to the right wing for Voracek. Voracek over the corner with it. Predators very aggressive. They wrap him right up. Simmons now trying to send it around the boards. It bounces right to Hutton at the side of the cage, and he'll hang on and have another look at his save. It certainly will be right at the top of the plays of the week.
Oh, you bet it will. And David Legwand will take this penalty any day. See, he came down on Raffl's stick, and that kept Michael Raffl from shooting it to the right side of the net. Watch here. There's no way Hutton gets to that if it's in the right side of the right half of the net.
doubt.
Still, I ain't taking anything away from the save. That was unbelievable.
It really was. Great athleticism. And the Predators win the defensive zone draw and clear all the way down. The Predators are the best faceoff team in the NHL. Flyers actually did a pretty good job in the first period against them. Had a slight advantage, but they'll win a lot of faceoffs with these Preds. Here's Giroux. In across the Nashville line, off to Voracek. Voracek centers. It goes all the way through. Giroux has to hustle to knock it down to keep it in the zone. Trying to send it back to Voracek. He'll sweep it around for Simmons. And now it's Giroux. The Flyers trying to get their power play straightened out at home. It's been dynamic on the road. Not so much at home. Here's Timonen. Deals to Voracek. Voracek turns and fires. Batted away. Calmly by Hutton as Simmons was standing right there. Now Giroux. Back out to Timonen. Giroux with Hartnell and Simmons right near the net. There's Simmons waiting to Hartnell. Hartnell fired it wide. He had tight coverage there to deal with. And then Voracek could not get the puck through. Oh, big hit by Simmons. But still, Fischer able to clear the zone after Yossi had taken the hit to make the play.
That was the same play that they scored on, planning it on the bench and going right out and doing it in Buffalo when Hartnell got into the middle of the box. Then, when he took the shot there, he had a stick right between his blade. He couldn't get it out.
And the crowd, again, doing the power play here at home. The Flyers are trying to take their time moving up. It's taking too long, according to the folks here in the seats. Here's Reed. Drops it to Lecavalier. Now strike back to Lecavalier. Power play over. And his shot well off the mark and all the way out towards center. Bright will just try to play it back in, but the Predators and their Flyers nearly had too many men on the ice as the guy coming off the ice was not quite off under the bench when the person replacing him played the puck, but officials said it was okay.
Actually, I don't think anybody was coming on for Mark Streit. It was two other players.
Here's Schenn centering. Lecavalier could not finish as Hutton closed the door. And now the Predators will just clear. This will be icing. They have some tired players on the ice, but they'll take that icing. Lecavalier trying to tie things up.
Paul Gaustad is out there, and he is out of gas for Nashville. Good play by Brayden Schenn. He's part magician these days, Brayden Schenn is. And Vinny Lecavalier off of Hutton and then off the post, the outside of the iron.
Couldn't see that from our angle. That almost snuck through. Carter Hutton has lived dangerously in this one, but he has been able to stop 15 of 16 Philadelphia shots. Getting his second straight start. Predators will have a decision to make with Devan Dubnyk now. So they're going to have to send a goaltender down. They have 3 right now on the roster. Here's Mazaros. That shot blocked. This is to Reed in the corner. Sends it around to the other corner of the ice. Raffl trying to work it free. In the other corner it goes again. Mazaros pinches. The puck still sitting there. Raffl in after, but the Predators escape with the puck. It's Legwand. Got it to Gaustad, and now to Bartley. Back across ice. Flyers tip it away, and here's Reed. Reed moving in. The shot, and it was blocked off by the defenseman Victor Bartley. Victor Bartley been scratched in each of the last 10 games and 18 overall this year. Finds himself in the lineup now. Mason has that one bounce off of him right out in front. Flyers able to take care of that. And now they'll clear it ahead off the linesman Reed. And move it through center. Racing after Voracek. Tips it once, twice. And they're saying he did so with a high stick.
Still beautiful.
It was, but whistled down. Predators with a 2-1 lead as we pass the midpoint of regulation time. Want some scoring chances?
Flyers have had him. Carter Hutton with his first appearance ever against the Flyers, doing some magical things in goal for the Predators. Save on Van de Velde in the first, and that one on Michael Raffl.
So we've seen a couple of remarkable saves in back-to-back games against the Flyers.
Keep battling.
So that throw the stick away, blocker grab of shot by Giroux on Tuesday, and that one right there by Carter Hutton. The Flyers still down a goal here as they try to reestablish the territorial edge they had in the first half of the first period. They swarm after this puck behind the net. Strike! Tried to get that in front, but it never made it there. When Josi moving it ahead. Now Colin Wilson in the middle to Fisher. And now it's sent off the board. Wide. Wilson checked, and Ekholm will go across ice. Seth Jones looking for redirection in front from Wilson, but it was too far away from him. Hartnell up the right wing. He'll bounce one toward Hutton. He'll knock it down, gather, and cover before Simmons can get there.
Well, the Flyers farm team, the Adirondack Phantoms, are going to face off against the Hershey Bears at the Wells Fargo Center on Saturday, February the 1st. Game time is 1 p.m. You get to see terrific AHL hockey at a great price. The Phantoms on the big stage right here back in Philadelphia where it all began.
Another win for the Phantoms the other night. They continue to find ways to win some games. Wayne Simmons been so hot for the Flyers, 17 points in his last 14 games. Actually now 18 in his last 15 with his assist here tonight. Coburn, the Voracek quickly to Giroux, but his shot blocked by Legwand. Now Voracek being leaned on. He's actually holding the stick of the defender, got away with it. Gets the puck back, tries to maneuver around Josi. Voracek behind that. Josi stays with him. Puck to the corner, teaming in, looking for Giroux. It's tipped. Well, we'll get to it. And now center, but it's off the skate of Raffl. And then jab to the neutral zone. Braden Coburn on the tape to Raffl. In across the Nashville line. Raffl backhand, save made by Hutton, and Giroux goes down, trying to draw a penalty. That didn't work, and Legwand will fire it off the stick of Weber, and that one goes out of play. And so the whistle.
Let's take a look at our Wells Fargo great check of the game. And we talk about scoring, shooting, passing, scoring points. How about taking the body? The captain, Claude Giroux, grabs Matt Ellis right along the wall here. And look at that. Matt Ellis dropped his head just for a second, and bang! Here comes the cap. Claude Giroux with our Wells Fargo great check of the game.
It's relatively even. Slight edge to the Flyers. They drop this puck right at center ice, and Philadelphia will control Mazzaros. Luke Schenn. The Cavalier stick at center, but he couldn't get it past Bartley, and sent back into the Philadelphia zone. Mazzaros dropping it to Luke Schenn for the Cavalier. Redirects this one to the neutral zone. Now Cohen hustled back to get to it. Luke Schenn has it again. Shots just about even for the game. 19-18 in favor of the Nashville Predators. They have a 9-6 advantage here in the second period. Flyers unable to control that puck, and now it's Cullen moving up, developing into a 2-on-1. Cullen, the shot, it changed direction, and Mason had to make the save. Back out it goes. Ellis, a shot! Fought off by Mason through traffic. And back to center ice goes Reed with it. He'll drop the puck to Couturier. Couturier in across the line. The shot was muffled and dribbled wide. We'll send it around to the other side. Adam Hall jabbing at it. The Predators come up with it. Gabriel Bourque. The Predators will send it off the stick of Mason. Grossman will go across ice. Less than 7 minutes remaining in this second period. Van de Velde dumps it deep and chases. Ekholm will drop it in the corner. Downey first to it. The Van de Velde trying to center to Hall, but it was broken up. Boy, the Predators have active sticks in the defensive zone. Grossman now tied up, nearly lost that puck at his own line. Van de Velde comes back to help him out.
And I think those active sticks are keeping the Flyers from getting a lot of shots on Carter Hutton. Flyers are going to go on a power play here, but part of the game plan for the Flyers was getting shots on Hutton and driving for rebounds. They have to get rid of the shots quicker.
Delayed call, but the Flyers go offside at the line, so there's your whistle. They will get a man advantage here, though. Another chance to tie the game as Ryan Poklera makes the call.
Well, it's going to be Stolberg. Let's see if we can pick it up. Nick Grossman going back, and that's going to be a hooking call on Stolberg.
Flyers will take that. You have a hard time selling me that in a court of law. But the Flyers will take it.
I agree with you. That wasn't very much to that one.
Brad Irwin isn't complaining. East McDonald's power play payoff.
Oh, Brad.
Contested. There's Timonen. They get immediately set up. Giroux fires wide, and that's going to end up bouncing out of play, so the faceoff will go to center. Bill, you see the difference between the Flyers power play at home and road, and there they are. I mean, that's a huge difference. Do you notice anything different? Are they're a little quicker with their plays at home in the power play?
I don't think they don't look as if they feel the same sense of urgency to make quick plays on the power play at home. And they're coming off a game where they were 2 for 6 in Buffalo. They scored the tying goal in the second period and the go-ahead goal in the third. But is there going to be a penalty here?
No, there's a big argument going on where the face-off is going to be.
Flyers felt that was deflected, right?
Right,
Gretchen?
yeah. And Craig Ruby was very upset, but the referee came over and tried to explain it to him. That didn't really help Cheap in understanding it, but the face-off still comes out into the neutral zone.
Well, it did seem, Claude Giroux doesn't miss by that much. It does seem as though that it went out for something, but ruling was not a Nashville player. So the Flyers start up. There's a good pass from Timonen into Voracek. Now Simmons. Right back to Voracek. Quickly around behind, but Weber read that. And then a diving attempt by Hartnell isn't going to keep the puck in. Flyers have to come back out to center again. Giroux directing traffic, and now starting up. Giroux will backhand it deep into the Nashville zone. Pass Hartnell. Voracek go off his skates. Simmons tried to flip it around the boards, but it didn't make it. Predators have it with numbers if they hurry. There's Gaustad with the puck. Gaustad holding, turning it, and he'll just drop it around behind that. Flyers got back to even it up. Gaustad just getting that puck deep and letting some other players get off the ice on a change. Already halfway through this power play. Timonen in, but he lost it. Seth Jones a chance. Right past Simmons. Right races into the point. Got a piece of that, and LeCavier keeps it in. Cross ice Giroux. Gets set up Giroux. Holding on. Back out to the point, Timonen. Now it's Giroux again. The Timonen center point for strike. Combination of the units. That puck in front off the stick of LeCavier and high and wide. Simmons back to Timonen across to strike. Waits, holds, fires, blocks. Bartley with the play there, and as he lunges, he clears it all the way down the ice.
At some point it's not a bad play just to get it to the front when you've got a teammate standing there uncovered, and Wayne Simmons has spent time uncovered in front of Hutton.
Cavier had the puck knocked away, and it's sent all the way down by Nystrom, and that will just about do it for the power play. The Flyers will drop to 0 for 2. Power play here. Downey dropping the puck to LeCavier. Back to Downey, a shot block. It was a little too long getting rid of that one, and Josi took care of him. Oh, and Josi's been an impressive player in this game. Predators get the puck here. There's a penalty. Clune was knocked down. Delayed call against Philadelphia. Bourque turning with it. Bourque laying it back to the point. There is Josi dealing to Weber, who fires it in front, blocked off by Coburn. Played by Reed, and there's the whistle. So Nashville to the power play when we return.
Well, let's take a look at our Independence Blue Cross Fearless Play of the game. This is not how to block shots. Victor Bartley right here comes out to block it, but he realizes, you know what, I'm facing the wrong way. And so his hand gets it. As he turned, he catches that one right there. You got to turn the right way, as we had to talk with Michael Ruffle a couple times. Let's take a look at this penalty to Matt Reed, because this is going to be a hooking call. Watch. As Clune's going to come out of the zone, and right here, Matt Reed's going to get the hook, and the Predators head to the power play.
Just a little tug, but when the guy you're putting your stick on is slightly off balance, he can make it look really good.
So the Predators go to work. The man advantage. They are doing better at home with a power play. They have scored with a man advantage in this game. Just after a two-man advantage had ended. That's a big kill for the Flyers here. Josi. One is pass intercepted by Couturier. He's looking to see if he can set up Hall. He'll lob one. A bouncer. Juggled, but then snatched out of the air by Hutton. Offensive zone draw for the Flyers. Tomorrow at 5, Michael Barkan is joined by Phillies top sports writers to discuss the Eagles, Flyers, Sixers, and Phillies on Philly Sports Talk, presented by Comcast Business. Tomorrow at 5 on Comcast Sportsnet. Join the conversation at hashtag Philly Sports Talk. Sometimes it gets heated on that show. Sometimes it can be thoroughly entertaining when they have Phil Clement on from Buffalo. You put on a show.
Just answering questions, JJ.
There's a pass to Cullen moving up. Now Spalling or Cullen behind the net. There's swarm upon him, but Spalling is there to help out. Back to Cullen behind the back. Pass gobbled up by Van de Velde, and on the backhand he'll clear to center ice. Back across now for Craig Smith. They say that play was onside. Timonen over to try to clear. He's big for it. Does bounce to Timonen, who tips to Van de Velde, and he'll whip it down the ice. 48 seconds on the power play so far. The penalty kill has done a good job. There's a not been set up. 19-year-old Seth Jones, son of Popeye Jones, the former NBAer, gets the puck into the Philadelphia zone, then slams on the brakes. Backhander back to the point. And now here's Hornquist, a shot. That might have glanced off of Fisher. Also Mason before going wide. Couturier will bank it to center ice. Yossi back to get it for Nashville. Time for one more push with this man advantage. Yossi gets the legs moving. Yossi into the Philadelphia zone. Comes around off the glass. Hornquist got a piece of it. Grossman battling for it. Gets it ahead. Luke Schenn trying to clear, but instead it goes back to the point. Weber across Yossi. All kinds of room. The shot. Save Mason. And the man right in his way. Yossi gets it to Legwand. Legwand holding. Turning away. The power play is over. Flyers just trying to get their defensive bearings now. Legwand changes direction. Pass to Hornquist. He'll drop it off. There's Bourque. Back to Legwand. He's checked by Grossman. Luke Schenn in there to get the puck. Up the wall. All couldn't get there. It's kept in. Well, they battle again. The Predators really a hard-working team. Bourque will get it out to Ekholm. Lays it in along the boards. Here's Ekholm, another of the young defensemen for this Predators team. To Legwand, and now it's a Bourque for the shot. Fought off by Mason. Flyers need a change in a bad way here. Some tired players out there. Here's Hall. He'll lift it clear, but not get it past the red line. So they can't get those players off the ice. Ekholm drills it back in, and it takes a bounce all the way out to Matt Reed. Reed to Couturier, who will flip it airborne. It's swatted at the Predators, and now Hall with nobody behind him. Can't move the puck forward. Here's a shot by Nystrom, getting back with Strike to get his stick on it.
Boy, the Flyers caught a break there because that was a change that is tough in this period. There was nobody. There was 3 Predators and only Adam Hall right there on the other side of the ice.
Yeah, he slowed him down long enough, and then Strike was able to get back and get his stick on the shot.
There is no worse feeling than being trapped in your end, having run out of gas, and you're just trying to run on fumes, and it goes on and on and on. It's the worst feeling.
They live to tell about it this time as it remains a 1-goal game. Final 14 seconds of this period. Flyers trying to develop one more rush. Here's Simmons up the left wing. Simmons holds on. Simmons to Mazzaros. The shot. He scores! Again, Mazzaros to the attack. And this time, instead of an assist, it's a goal. This game is tied at 2. Mazzaros scored for a case of Tasty Cake.
What a play. I guarantee you when he takes his jersey off, he's going to have a big S on his chest, at least in this game. Andre Mazzaros continuing to join the rush to jump into holes, and he ripped that to the top corner. Our power back comeback play, a comeback goal by Andre Mazzaros over the shoulder of Carter Hutton. Made it look easy, too. Is he feeling it?
He beats Hutton, and he beats the clock. And putting some time back up now. 4.1 seconds on the clock when that puck crossed the goal line. And he ties this game at 2. Luke Schenn hammered into the Nashville zone as the second period comes to an end. Andre Mazzaros, his game getting better and better. Piling up the assists of late. It's the goal this time. And this game deadlocked through 40 minutes. Tonight's Flyers Predators second period was brought to you by Kia. To learn more, visit kia.com. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. This Saturday's Powerball jackpot bill now has an estimated annuity of $113 million.
Count me in.
So play today. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. Players must be 18 years or older. Let's head downstairs to Steve Coates. He chats with Andre Meszaros.
Mark Strike.
Man, it's the last couple of weeks we've really seen a difference in you as far as jumping into the play, attacking, and going to the net. You've seen goals set up by you, and then tonight you get the goal. Tell us about where this stands as far as your ability as a defenseman to jump up into the play.
Well, no, the coach always telling us to jump in and play, up in and play, you know, because that's it's tough to defend, let's say 4-on-3 than 3-on-2, you know. So I'm just trying to get out there and, you know, take some shots, and maybe the guys can get rebounds, or this time I score a goal.
Well, let's talk about the goal, because you had the opportunities leading to goals, but this one you took the shot yourself.
Yeah, it was 10 seconds and I saw it on the clock, so Mark made a good play to Simmer, and I was just screaming from the red line on him, and he turned up and found me, and I shot it on the net and went in.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Andre Meszaros been a healthy scratch 20 times this season. Of late, he's been a major force for the Flyers from the blue line. John Bork, Rick Tocchet are next after these messages. 2-2 after 2. Tonight's third period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by your Philadelphia Super Network Buick GMC dealers. And by McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, any size iced coffee, coffee, or sweet tea is just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Periods in the books. Let's look at the Sugar House Casino statistics.
Well, the shots advantage goes to the Nashville Predators. Face-offs favor the Flyers. And the most important number of the big twos on either side at the bottom, with that late goal by the Flyers scored in dramatic fashion to end the second period.
And that is what you see in the scoring summary. That goal by Meszaros with 4.1 on the clock, so we'll see if it carries over to the third in terms of momentum standpoint as we look at our GMC NHL update. And we take you to Tampa, where the Islanders and Lightning are playing, and the ageless Marty St. Louis, one of the easier goals of his fabled career. Here's the Lightning, the 1-0 lead. Of course, the Islanders, the next opponent for the Flyers, as they will be here Saturday night, and then the Flyers and Islanders will play up on Long Island on Monday afternoon.
There's the man that has the gear shift locked in drive, Andre Meszaros.
Confidence is an amazing thing, isn't it?
It is.
Boy, he's jumping up in the play. He's having fun. He actually, a couple of times, he had jumped into the play, some great opportunities, and he came back so mad that hadn't done a better job.
Look at the numbers with these teams when tied through 2. Perhaps the bigger number is the Flyers want to keep those spreads right at 2 goals. When they score 3 or more, they're 18-1-3. And look out, they come right onto the attack off the face-off. But that shot by Spalling was deflected out of play. So look at the tweets from the first 2 periods here tonight.
Okay, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got?
A snipe from Meszaros, says Borden Jake. Well, probably Jake Borden. And the comeback kids, yeah, they've done it again. They've made it back. Now they need to finish it off here. And tell you what, Wayne Simmonds, for a long time, it was just a slam dunk. It would be either Steve Mason or Claude Giroux as the MVP of this team. But Wayne Simmonds is creeping into the conversation with his all-around play and what he brings to this club. Here's Kimmo Timonen with some room. Sends it across, was hoping for forward check, but he got tied up, couldn't get the puck out to the neutral zone. Giroux could not control it. And now it's taken back by Nashville. Bartley lobbing that one all the way through center. Timonen will sweep it back into Nashville. Ice Flyers looking to make a change here as Weber gets to Josi. And from the red line, he'll wind it into the Philadelphia zone all the way out to Hartnell, but he couldn't control it cleanly. Now he plays it to the Nashville line. It's tipped around. Simmons has it, and he'll fling it. He'll make it all the way around. Braden Shen trying to get in on Weber there, and he did. The puck to Hartnell, centering it, looking for Simmons, broken up by Josi. Predators on the counter rush. Colin Wilson flipping it deep, chasing with Streit. Streit grabs it past him to Simmons. Simmons up the right wing. He's stripped there. That puck did not make it to center. Now it's played back through by Streit. Hartnell jumps on it. Hartnell holding on, waiting all the way across. He's got Grossman. He'll wind, fire it, deflected, and then went off of Hutton and wide of the net. For a moment, Hutton acted as though he thought he had the puck, but it deflected away from him to the corner. And now the Predators, another aerial through the neutral zone. Reaching for Grossman, could not come up with it. He and Nystrom go to the boards, and Nystrom takes the seat.
Emphatically.
Indeed.
And he carried him. In other words, he didn't let Nystrom go drilling into the board. He carried him up and then just finished him off.
Reed's shot from the angle was denied, and now the Predators, the turnover. Here's Lecavalier, the shot, and it sails high to the glass. Back out toward Mazar, 3 backhands, but right to Seth Jones. And the rookie starts back with it. He's third among all rookies in time per game. He played over 30 minutes against the Flyers in the first meeting with Seth Jones. No Weber in that game, of course. Here's Ryan Ellis' shot. That's deflected to the corner now. Picked up by Legwand. Gets some room. Cuts in front. Loose puck. Mason finds it and puts the glove on top of it.
Well, when Andre Mazaros is moving forward, he gives the Flyers a whole bunch of dimension, and that's all he's been doing in this game, is stepping in from the blue line, even driving for rebounds when forwards have fired shots, as he did earlier. Great moves at the blue line and then charging in. He's picked up an assist. Yeah, by the way, he's picked up this goal that has us tied here early in the third period. That was with seconds to go in the second period. Andre Mazaros.
Point a game pace over his last 9. Part of a much improved Flyer defense score from an offensive standpoint. When you break it down, I mean, their first 28 games, just 6 goals. Their last 20, look at that, 13 goals now from their blue liners. So they've more than doubled the total from a greater amount of games earlier in the year. Hartnell will play that out to the neutral zone. Played back in by Josi. Mason sets it up for Timonen. We approach the 3-minute mark of this third period. Simmons hoists one deep. Weber going back. Quickly plays it up the wall. Doesn't give the Flyers forecheck game a chance to get going. And Grossman has to go back and get it. Frank wide for Streit. Streit pass just out of the reach of Hall. A back to center, knocked down by Grossman. And now played by Mike Fisher. Gary Underwood, of course, is better half. The puck to center. Flyers get it right back. Here's Streit. Looking for, he threw it in the middle, and Grossman was able to tip that to Downey. And Downey in, but play stopped behind the play. A penalty coming up. Hornquist ended up dinged. Coach, you see that?
Yeah, he got a stick. It's going to be Grossman, I believe, as Hornquist went down just like a rock right in front of me. He's not cut, but right there you see that loose stick of Grossman come out, and Hornquist actually skated into it. But I think it'll just be a 2-minute penalty.
All right, Grossman was actually trying to... 4 minutes.
He is bleeding.
He looked like he was just trying to get out of the way after making a play on the puck, trying to get his stick out of the way.
He has a little nick.
Boy, that's...
Just a little nick on the top of the lip.
It was very close to the foul through of playing the puck, which means it wouldn't be a penalty at all, but perhaps he left the stick in the air long enough to get the call. And so this is a huge, huge moment in this game. A very effective power play goes to work. 4 minutes. A chance to get back on top for the Predators. All on the draw with Cullen. Got the puck to Vandevelde. He's going to skate it up to the neutral zone, chip it in, go after it himself, and get to it. And now look in front for Hall, and ends up in the glove of Hutton. Good work by Vandevelde there. And they work off the first 15 seconds of the power play time with the puck out of the Philadelphia zone. Now Jones to Cullen. He's checked. Rolls around behind. Timonen can't catch up to it. Smalling does, but his pass hit the referee. Bounces to Colbert, ahead to Vandevelde. He'll get it to the red line and then loft it deep into the Nashville zone and get off the ice so fresh troops can replace. Ryan Ellis back to Roman Josi. 23-year-old, the 23-year-old. They're so young on the blue line. Josi out of Weber, and they'll move it up. Legwand. Get in, Hornquist battling there. Mazaros as well, bounces back out to the point. Josi across to Weber. Weber gets to Legwand. Legwand's pass back to Weber, looking to load that gun, could not. Flyers trying to cheat Weber's way because he has an absolute cannon. 8 power play goals, 11 goals total. Turning with it. Now the shot! And it's knocked down as Josi got that one toward the net, and then it's cleared by Schenn.
Good positioning by the Flyers killers. There are no seams, forcing Nashville to move the puck around the outside. And also, as you pointed out, taking away Weber's shot.
2.5 remaining in the penalty time. Moving on, and here's Josi for the shot. Kick save, Mason. Wow, Josi almost went coast to coast. Now Weber across to Josi. His slap past the leg on. Back out Weber. There's the big blast. He scores. Like clockwork. When he gets open and is able to bomb away, it often winds up in the back of the net. Power play goal. It's 3-2 Nashville.
And Nashville will still have their second power play, the second minor to go after the Flyers. But this is the first time we've seen this shot in this game, and it's why the Flyers have tried to take the Weber cannon away. That was behind Steve Mason. I don't even know if he saw it, but no human has a chance on this one.
And you know, there's 2 kinds of shots, heavy shots and hard shots. That's both. That's how hard that thing was cooking going towards Mason. No chance, because he not only had the traffic, but that thing had to be going over 100 miles an hour. No 2 ways about it.
You go back over the last 6 seasons, no defenseman in the NHL has scored more goals than Shea Weber. And of course, this is his first game against the Flyers since they tried to make him a Flyer. They signed him to an offer sheet. He was a restricted free agent. But the Predators surprised many by matching that offer. So Weber is a Predator and probably will remain one for a long, long time. He's a great player. So now the second minor in effect. The Predators remain on the man advantage since they scored within the first 2 minutes. That penalty time. 30 seconds into the second minor. Here's Ellis. The pass to Seth Jones. Now comes back across to Ellis. To Cullen. Cullen in the slot, but Smith was tightly marked. Couldn't get the shot through. Kept in though by Ellis as he reaches up. But his pass intercepted by Timonen. He'll take his time. Wind up and then fire one all the way down. But snared by Hutton. Flyers will change penalty killers. Past the 6-minute mark of the third period. And tick down to 1 minute remaining on the Nashville power play time. Josi looking to start up. Drops it back. There's Legwand. He'll send it deep into the Philadelphia zone. Sprite and Legwand come together. Hornquist swirls it up the wall. Couturier got his stick on it. Reed speeds over after it. Gets to it and skates it up, but he's caught. Some of that Nashville speed there. Knocked it away. Now Hornquist looking for the pass. Gets it. But they say the play is offside.
Shea Weber now has 9 power play goals on the season. At the halfway point for a D-man, that's not bad. He also picked up a couple of assists. There is 2 assists. And don't blink because you'll miss his goal. 1 plus 2 equals 3 points for Shea Weber and the Nashville Predators.
9 of those 12 on the power play. And you can't blame Flyers fans for wondering what if.
No doubt.
The Flyers did all they could. They offered him a huge deal that almost every hockey person thought there's no way the Predators, small market team, could match. Now look out. Here's Smith cutting on in. Shot! Mason falls backwards, but he's got it. Big save. Smith ends up going awkwardly into the boards and appears he might be a little shaken up, but Mason, a big stop to keep the Flyers within 1.
Oh, no doubt, Coatsy, no doubt.
Well, this is why Craig Smith is the leader in goals for the Nashville Predators. Look at the speed that this guy's going to show, and then just absolutely erupts in front of Coburn. Now he's going to look for that far corner bell right here. This is a save, I think, that we're going to remember with Mason coming up with it.
He knew where it was, and he just kept squeezing.
Draw to his left, controlled by the Flyers. Coburn, though, checked quickly, could not clear. Spaulding got in on him. Now teaming in around for Vandevelde. Cullen ties him up. 15 seconds remaining on the power play time. Smith trying to get that back toward the point now. In fact, he'll go down low to Cullen with it. Coburn got all tangled up. He's now getting back into play as Weber is checked by Hall, who's able to force it out to the neutral zone. Power play is over, so the Flyers kill off the second half of the double minor. It is a 3-2 game with 12:45 to play in the third. Zaros ahead for Hartnell. Outside pass to Coburn, and now Braden Shen. Rink wide again, hoping for Hartnell, but he beat the puck into the zone. Offside. We'll step aside. Predators top by 1.
Predators lead the Flyers 3-2 as we look at the #1 pick of the Nashville Predators last summer. That was Seth Jones. Now, this was a huge coup by the Nashville Predators because everybody thought that Seth Jones was going to be #1. And no, he wasn't. He dropped right into the laps of the Nashville Predators. Nathan MacKinnon went #1 to the Colorado Avalanche. Then, okay, Seth Jones might go to Florida. No, Alexander Barkov did. Then Jonathan Drouin went to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and Seth Jones went #4 to the Nashville Predators. And you can see the number of minutes he is getting among rookies. Third right now in the National Hockey League. And you know why he's such a great skater on top of being a great athlete? He wears a number 15. That's right, size 15 skate.
Yeah, it probably comes in the package in terms of the gene package from his dad, brought by Jones. And Seth Jones was dominant when these teams played down in Nashville. It's been a bit more quiet in this game, but... And, of course, remember, no Shea Weber in that game, so he played over 30 minutes, Bill. He was just a major force in that game.
Going to be a good player, very good player for a whole bunch of years.
Simmons to Braden Shen. He overskates, gets it back, but the Flyers are offside by the time he played it into the zone.
Well, you can catch your next Flyers game from a premium lower level seat featuring a private bar as well as wait service and restrooms. 215-389-9500 now. Just make that call and ask for the latest special offers for January and February Flyers home games.
Predators, 2 of their 3 goals in this game on the power play. First time in 17 games the Flyers have allowed more than 1 power play goal against. Both goals came in a multiple penalty situation. One right after a 2-man advantage had just ended. The other is part of a double minor.
Well, we talked early in the game that was pretty well the only way the Flyers could get themselves into trouble and possibly dig a hole. And the worst case scenario happened.
Well, they've been the comeback kids here of late. They're going to have to continue that. And I'll tell you what, they got their work cut out for them. The Predators 18-1-3 when scoring at least 3 goals in the game. So this is something the Predators can do. They can get you down and they can really shut it down. We'll see if the Flyers can pierce that. There's Giroux cutting in, trying to shoot. It's blocked. Second try, blocked. And Spalling is there. They've done a real good job against Giroux and Voracek and Raffl. Here's Spalling dropping it back. That shot by Fisher goes off the shin pad and wide. So Cavalier on this shift with Voracek, but couldn't come up with that puck. Here's Ellis, winds, fires. It went up a stick, save Mason. In fact, it broke the stick of Giroux on its way in. Mason able to play the redirect. Now Ellis sent it in front, redirection. Save again by Mason. He's made at least 3 saves now since the Predators took the lead to keep the Flyers within 1. Remember, though, is that the Flyers are able to get their offensive game going. It's going to be tough to do that, though. These Predators are checking right now. Here's Reed. Up the left wing. Chips it in. Down he will chase. Gets his stick up in the face of Hartnell. Kelly went down. He's okay. The Flyers get the puck. Here's Reed. Out to the point. Mazzaros, a shot! Saved by Hutton through traffic. Now the puck bounces into the corner. Rolls to the other side of the ice. Hartley over to get it. Here comes Downing ramming into him. He's showing the energy that his coach wanted from him. He's going to head off the ice right here. Flyers stealing the puck. Reed, but he couldn't control.
Well, I thought Zach Rinaldo was back in the lineup.
Yeah, exactly. That cannonball into the offensive zone. Predators with the edge and shots for the game. 7-2 here in the third. There's Simmons. Nice bank pass to Shen. Shen up the right wing. Tried to go all the way across. That was broken up. Low percentage play there. Now it's Bourque. Marked by Grossman. Slid it toward the net off the stick of Mason. Nystrom. Dad also former athlete. Bobby Nystrom, the former star with the Islanders during their cup year. That puck is off of gloves and sticks to center. Now Schenn after it, but didn't work through a fallen Hartnell. And Jones will move the puck to Ekholm. Mattias Ekholm across the Philadelphia line. Swings wide, takes the shot. Save Mason. Couldn't control that rebound. Flyers get it back. Less than 9 minutes remaining now in the third. Teaming it out to Simmons. Wayne Simmons from the red line will pump it in, but he's at the end of a shift. So he'll peel back on a change. Josi will give to Weber. Shea Weber already 3 points on the night. Craig Smith to Spaulding. Spaulding back to Smith. All the way across. Now in the middle it's Weber. Weber a shot blocked in front. Falling down. Unable to move the puck ahead with the Flyers, but a penalty is called. Downey went down, tripping the call. Stick goes flying. Flyer power play, we think.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, and an opportunity for the Flyers to be able to tie this one. Going on the power play as we see Spaulding into the penalty box. So watch Spaulding. He gets the stick right into Downey. Now Downey's got a little bit of the stick there too, and then ends up throwing it in the corner.
Now the Flyers in the man advantage. Simmons a shot, and Hutton was there to reject it. And the puck cleared past forward, check to center. Flyers' third man advantage of the game, and they nearly capitalized very early on in the power play. Teaming it now to Simmons. Skates the puck in. Flips it around for Timonen. Timonen pushed it further along, and now the Predators getting in there, knocking Timonen down from behind was Gaustad. Hartnell trying to dig that puck free. Weber trying to get that to Josi. Josi and Simmons reaching for it, and Josi got it as far as center ice before Giroux knocked it down. Now Giroux right back in. Giroux to the circle, the shot! Glove save! Hutton. And he hangs on.
Good decision by Claude Giroux to get rid of this puck, because Nashville's sticks have been so good, and the Flyers have had such trouble getting shots on Carter Hutton. 24 shots on the game now for Philadelphia, 33 for Nashville. That looked like it had a chance to make it in under the crossbar.
Yeah, did that go off of the defenseman,
Yep,
Bill?
I think it ramped up.
Boy, it did. Boy, that was cooking.
Flyers looking to add to their 16 scoring chances on this power play. Second unit out, bouncing pucks. Detroit had to play it carefully. Cavalier throws it around. Downey was checked. Couturier back for Downey. Has to do with the referee and Victor Bartley. Bartley able to get it around to Cullen, but he's overtaken by the Flyers. Braden Schenn will get it to Streit. Back to Schenn. He'll take the shot wide. Couturier reaching, can't get it. And so Streit will have to play it out at the red line. That's one of those shots you can't miss the net. Here is Streit. The right wing feed, turning and handling it is Braden Schenn. He'll backhand it deeper, but Seth Jones is there. He got it toward Fisher. Now Streit will dig it off the wall. Across for Couturier. Back to Streit. Fans on the one-timer. Cavalier will recover. Get to Schenn. Back up the wall, and that too hot to handle. Hops over the stick of Minion all the way down. So only time for one more rush with this power play. The Flyers just having trouble putting power play goals on the board here at home. 2 seconds left, and Giroux is stripped. And back the other way goes Bourque. Bourque, a drop pass, the shot by Nystrom, and the save by Mason. Another big stop from the goaltender, keeping the Flyers within one. Raffl to Voracek. Voracek could not come up with it. And Nystrom a chance to clear. He got it past Timonen and out to the neutral zone.
Flyers system has Giroux coming as a slingshot. This time he tried to beat the guy right in the middle of the neutral zone. You just don't want to do that.
Voracek can't catch up to that puck. Over and in deep, pitches it back around behind. Josi's there, he'll try the point. In comes Nazaros. Good pinch right along the wall. He's got the puck. Nazaros stepping around behind the net. Nazaros now changing direction. Hands the puck off to Giroux. It's tipped from Raffl back to Voracek. His shot, a stick save. Hutton, it bounces out to Giroux. Giroux holds on, waits, and lost it. Nazaros has to play it out in the neutral zone. 5:35 remaining in the third. Luke Schenn off Hartnell's stick, but Ekholm just pops it right back out to center. Now it's Schenn to Simmons. Left wing feed. Hartnell couldn't hold on cleanly. Now he'll fling in. Round it goes. Colin Wilson checked by Schenn. Simmons there as well. Simmons trying to step through the checking of Ellis. He did. Dropped it off for Hartnell. Hartnell then tried to drop it off for Schenn, but Schenn had to deal with some checking along the boards. He does get the puck back to his brother for a shot. It's blocked. And it bounces all the way out to center ice. Grossman will drop it back deeper. Luke Schenn has to go back and get it. We tick below 5 minutes to play in the third. Flyers misfire on that pass, so this is icing.
Let's take a look at our Hyundai save of the game. And this is absolutely spectacular by Carter Hutton for the Nashville Predators. Watch, he's going to come out of the net, but it comes firing out right onto the stick of Michael Raffl. Right there. There's a penalty on Raffl as he's going down. He tries to get that shot into the open net. Hutton comes from behind the net and just throws the glove on inside that crease area. And boy, he came up with the Hyundai save of the game. I think we're going to see that again, guys, somewhere.
Yeah.
Plays of the week. Plays of the
sir.
month. Plays in the second half of the season. Yeah, you're going to see it on a lot of lists.
Now the Predators working the puck down low. Back out to Weber. Now into the corner. Nystrom to Cullen. Cullen changing direction. Centered off the stick of Mason. Mason got the paddle down there to break that up, but then Hartnell misfires on his pass. And the Predators looking to come back in, but then they misfire. And here's Reed. Bad Reed and across the Nashville line. Reed swerving in. Centers for Lecavalier. And that shot took off. I think Weber got it. The shot block leader for the Predators, I think, got a piece of that one. Flyers digging for the puck, but it's hit away from Couturier. Legwand starts back. And he'll backhand in from the red line. Mason started up for Timonen. Timonen. Reverse to Coburn. Ahead Reed. Reed's pass. That eludes Lecavalier. No icing. They wave off the icing.
Nicked him.
Ekholm after the puck, and he's able to skate away from Lecavalier and then shovel into the Philadelphia line. Knocked down by Downey. It's played by Mazzaros to Giroux. Giroux across ice, joining the rush strike. Tipped it. Hit it back, but could not. And the Predators have it, and Legwand will clear it to the Philadelphia zone. Time becoming a factor now. 3.5 remaining in the third. Mazzaros, who's assisted one Flyer goal and scored the other one. Got the puck in. Voracek threw it at the net, but that was stopped at the side of the cage by Hutton. Now Fisher to the puck. Voracek, after has his stick knocked out of his hands, that's going to be a penalty. Now he's drilled in by Weber. That could be another penalty. And Weber, a haymaker over the top. And the Flyers could get a two-man advantage here. We'll have to wait and see. Downey's in there, and he really ought to just back off.
No doubt.
Cool it down, because you don't want to get that. If you're going to get one penalty for sure, you might get a couple. You don't want to get any retaliation.
We'll tell you about the penalties when we return. It's Flyers Predators game was brought to you by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by Wells Fargo, when you're considering buying your first home, Wells Fargo is with you. Wells Fargo, together we go far. Well, here we go again. Late into the third, a one-goal game. Do the Flyers have another comeback in them?
Well, they're going in the power play because of this slash, the stick of Jake Voracek out of his hand. Could have been worse for Nashville, but the refs only called one.
Weber not called. Fisher was. So the Flyers get their fourth power play and a chance to tie this game late here in the third. Giroux wins the draw. Got it to Timonen for a shot. Blocked. Nystrom out high. Got in the way of that. So the Flyers have to peel back. Be interesting to see if Craig Berube pulls the goaltender the second half of the power play. Here's the pass to Simmons as he moves in. Sets it up for himself in the corner. And now shuttles it back around. Giroux after it. Giroux to the point. Timonen barely kept that in. Got it across. Voracek shot blocked easily. Now Voracek has it back to Simmons. He waited and it's tipped away. But then the referee had it hit him. The Flyers get it back to Timonen. His pass to Giroux. He wasn't lined up for the one-timer. Back across Voracek. In front. Tipped away by Josi. Now Simmons a pass. Giroux takes the hit. Got the puck back to the middle, but Timonen had cheated toward the wall, and so it goes out to center. 1:05 remaining in the power play. 2:05 now remaining in the third period. And Timonen will start up very deliberately. And his pass for Schenn goes off his stick deep into the Nashville zone. Schenn around for Reed. Reed just got it toward the side. The net goes out in front. It is cleared by Bartman. All the way down into the Philadelphia zone. Couturier now 37 seconds of the power play. Hit across the line. There goes Mason to the bench. Extra attacker for the Flyers. Shot, strike, save. Hutton dropped the puck, but then was able to cover to get the whistle. So 6 skaters on 4 right now with 30 seconds remaining on the Fisher penalty.
Boy, that is some kind of timely rebound control by goalie Carter Hutton of the Nashville Predators. The Flyers were hunting.
He got that one right in the bucket. You see, it's maybe foot and a half off the ice. Now Strite's looking right at Hutton. There's not a lot of a screen right here. Bang. There's a shot. You got to screen real late in front by Reed, but Hutton already put in his position to get that one in the bucket.
Just a reminder that the Flyers are taking on the New York Islanders this Saturday, 7 o'clock. Carolina Hurricanes then come to town. That's Tuesday at 7. Great seats still available for both matchups. Call now to reserve yours.
Well, Craig Berube talking strategy over with his club after the timeout. See what Flyers have come up with here. Le Cavalier talking things over with Voracek before they get set up for this draw. Giroux will take the draw. He'll go against Paul Gaustad, who's 5th in the NHL in draws, almost 60% on the year. Flyers have done a good job in the faceoff circle in this game, winning 60% of them. Need a win here. And they get it. They get the puck back to Voracek. 6 skaters on 4 with the empty net in the power play. Giroux, the team in the shot, deflection, score! Hartnell got his stick out, and Simmons was in there. It winds up in the net. They've done it again. 3-3, 1:24 to play on the power play goal as they score for a case of Tasty Cake.
Just like you draw it up, but it starts with a face-off win. Without Giroux winning the draw against Gaustad, this does not happen.
And you got 1, 2. Hartnell's the lead guy right at the hash marks. He'll get the stick right out in front, but then Simmons, watch Simmons, and he'll just all of a sudden at the last second get a piece of this and direct it up and over the shoulder of Carter Hutton.
It looked like it just rolled up the shaft of the stick of Wayne Simmons and then got airborne over Carter Hutton.
But how about the move of pulling the goalie? I mean, that just spectacular move by Craig Berube.
Here's Raffl. Flyers, maybe they're not done here in regulation. 1:10 remaining. Couturier with the puck. Tipped it to Reed. Reed trying to get himself some space. Josi staying with him. Reed around behind the net. Raffl trying to dig the puck out of there. It does pop free. Raffl pursues. He's tied up. Leaned down by Legwand, but now Reed is there. Back out to the point of bouncing pass all the way, and Coburn could not knock it down. Coburn makes one. Raffl redirects into the Nashville zone. Hartley has it there. To Seth Jones. Ahead, that pass misfires. Mazaros gets it back for Philadelphia. Pops it back to neutral zone before Fisher sends it back in. Final half minute of regulation time. Flyers have tied it. Can they go ahead here? Rush is taking a while to get going. Zaros looking for Voracek. It was behind him. Seth Jones pass tips back to the Philadelphia line. Played right back out by the Flyers and down the ice. And that's going to be icing. Mistake made there. 11 seconds remaining. The Predators will get an offensive zone draw.
Well, let's take a look at our power back. Rehabilitation, comeback goal of the game, and it just happened as the Flyers pull their goalie. They have a 6-on-4 advantage, and they're going to have this opportunity. And the shot comes from Kimmo Timonen after a great face-off by Giroux, and Simmons is right there for the redirection.
Flyers need another face-off win here, and they get it. Sprite will play it high off the glass to Voracek. 6 seconds. He lost it. And now it bounces back to Bork. He'll play it back into the Nashville zone, and that'll do it for regulation time. Now the Flyers have come back to get at least a point out of this one. Perhaps they can get another victory after a third period comeback. That we will find out either in overtime or a shootout. It's 3-3 through 60 minutes.
Well, let's take a look at our Toyota turning point, and this is just another look at the goal by Wayne Simmons. The face-off won by Giroux. Then back to the point to Tiemann, and he knows, I got people. I got a lot of people in front of the goaltender. He has Simmons. He's got Hardno, and it's Simmons that redirects it past Carter Hutton, and that is our Toyota turning point. We're tied at 3, heading into overtime.
Our Mazda top shelf performers in this one, and there have been a number of them. Shea Weber has blasted a goal and picked up 2. Nystrom has scored. Legwand has scored. Andre Mazzaros, a goal and an assist. Wayne Simmons, the dramatic goal, plus 2 assists. Brayden Schenn, 13th goal of the season. And do not forget some of the saves that Steve Mason made when the Nashville Predators had a 3-2 lead and were trying to make it 4-2.
Perhaps this game following the same script as the first meeting down in Nashville. Sean Couturier got the late goal to force extra play. This time the double deflection. Hartnell and then Simmons with yet another power play goal, his 9th power play goal of the year. He and Shea Weber among the league leaders in that category now. And so now it's 4-on-4 overtime play. The Flyers got that overtime win up in New Jersey, courtesy of Brayden Schenn. They're 1-1 in games decided in the overtime. The Predators are 1-2. The Predators have had all kinds of difficulties in the shootout this year, so they want to get this thing over in the overtime. Wayne Simmons, by the way, that 3-point night just continues to pile up the points. He has 20 of them in his last 15 games. Underway in overtime. Roman Josi back to play the puck. Trying to get away from Matt Reed. And try to play it cross ice. It's knocked down. Reed able to find Couturier. Couturier inside, outside, then circles. And then played it along the boards. Reed did not come up with that as Fisher and Josi were both there. Now it goes across. Tiemann takes a look. Doesn't see much developing, so he just whips it in. Couturier got his stick on it but couldn't control. And now it's Weber back to Josi. Ahead. Greg Smith, he can fly to the Philadelphia line. Still after that puck. Strike trying to tie him up. Now Smith to the puck, centers it. Here's Legwand, the shot. Mason the save. He's down. Legwand will get it back out. Mason back up. The pass from Jones across ice. Now down low, Ellis. The angle shot. And that one from Smith. And it lanced away, and it's Voracek speeding back the other way. 3-on-2 developing. Voracek up the left wing. Voracek waits. Tried to center. Now it's taken by Giroux. Giroux turning across ice pass. Tip. Still a shot. Glove saved by Hutton as he denied Andre Mazzaros.
Kidding me? Are you kidding me? Hutton made that look easy. Nashville had their chance at the other end, and Steve Mason stood tall once again.
And then Mazzaros is going to get a nice saucer pass from dot to dot, circle to circle from Giroux, and that puck was rolling, and it was cooking, and Carter Hutton, once again, that glove, we've seen it a couple of times in this third period.
There's a turnover, though. Mazzaros couldn't get that puck out of the zone. Luke Schenn has to come over and deal with Nick Spaulding, and he does so well. Moves it ahead to Simmons. 1-on-2. Simmons tips the puck, tries to get to it, but Shea Weber had other ideas. And now Victor Stahlberg, who's another guy who can really move, gets going, gets around a stick check by Schenn. Brayden Schenn, but then he's met by Luke Schenn. Luke will drop it back to Mazzaros. Ahead to Brayden. Into the middle of the ice, being pestered. Fires trying to make a change. Josi stole the puck, but the Predators are also going to change some people. Josi ahead. That one went off Cullen. Picked off by Voracek. They say it's onside. Voracek turns, winds, fires, save. Hutton bounces in the air and then is handled by Josi, who's leaned on by the Flyers. They come away with the puck again. Voracek, and he threw it out. Tiemann was moving in. The puck goes back the other way. Coburn has to race back. Gabriel Bourque as well. They crash after it in the corner. And the Flyers come away with it.
Any other Flyers defenseman but Brayden Schenn would have been beat on that race. Or by Braden Coburn, at least. He can fly.
Strike. Moves the puck across. Past the midpoint of overtime. And now he moves up. His pass for Hartnell went off his stick. He'll pursue it with Seth Jones. Jones uses his reach to get the puck to Ryan Ellis. Myers got the puck down again, and here's Giroux now. Wheeling back. Giroux now and across the line. Giroux to the slot, and he's checked. Down he goes, and the Predators move back with numbers as Giroux is just trying to get back into play. Here's Fisher holding. Fisher flips. That one goes wide all the way out toward the point. Alan Wilson able to nudge it back deeper before Hartnell takes over. Less than 2 minutes remaining now in the extra session. Zaros with Legwand pursuing, gets to Coburn. Coburn backhand, that goes off his skate. Weber's to it, but then Reed knocks it away. At Reed, and across the line. Reed wide, fires, post, and it bounces wide, and Hutton will cover up. Oh, Matt Reed, so close to ending it.
Oh, unbelievable. He got the right carom off the post and the bad bounce off the back of Carter Hutton.
It just sneaks by. He got the bounce you mentioned, but it hits Carter Hutton and then just goes to the other side of the pipe, and Hutton responded very quickly to be able to grab onto it.
90 seconds remaining in the overtime. Both teams have had a chance or two. Weber moves it. Now Yossi turned back by Couturier. Yossi will try again. Gets those legs moving. Goes wide on Reed. And then swerves back with it. Gets it to Smith. He'll play it to the corner. Legwand after it there. Back out to the point. Knocked down by Yossi. He'll flip one into the midsection of Mason. And no further play.
Steve Mason standing tall here in overtime. And he was such a key to the comeback because Nashville tried to make it 4-2 and they couldn't get it by Steve Mason.
A couple of saves that come to mind, Billy, are the one, he had one on Yossi, had one on Craig Smith, and also on Nystrom.
I think we've seen Switzerland's point men for their power play at the Olympics with Mark Streit. There's Streit, Roman Yossi, both will play for Switzerland in the Olympics.
They were key members of the Swiss team that did so well last year at the World Championships. Here's Timonen moving up. Shots it back, and here is Giroux cutting in the shot. Hutton fought that off, and Timonen decided to peel back. And now here's Weber. 37 seconds remaining in overtime. Cross ice pass. Dahlberg busting up the right wing. Shot, and that one off the stick, and then the safety netting. Mr. Stahlberg has always been one of those players that you have to respect his speed. For a big man, he can really move.
That he can. Claude Giroux looked like he was beaten. He thought a D-man was over in the play. But Giroux did just enough with his stick, I think, to throw Stahlberg off a bit.
29 seconds remaining here in the overtime. Cullen and Couturier will duel. Cullen directing Seth Jones to move back a little bit. The Flyers win the draw. Boy, they've done a great job on faceoffs against the top faceoff team in the NHL. Grossman pass in the skates of Schenn. Braden could not come up with it. Jones does. Cross ice pass. Ellis back to Jones, and here goes the rookie. Full bore through center. Cutting on in the pass. Could not be handled by Bork. Couturier jabs it back toward Mason. It's going to result in a draw with 3.3 seconds or more remaining here in the overtime. Let's see if they add any time to the clock, but the faceoff will be in the Philadelphia zone.
Well, unless Nashville can do something exceptionally slick here, we're going to have a shootout just like we did on November the 30th when the Flyers visited Nashville.
Flyers played their very first shootout against the Predators.
And if you're Claude Giroux sitting on the bench, you're thinking ahead to the shootout here.
Couturier and Gaustad on this draw. They do not add any time. Puck is down. Goes to the boards. Couturier has it. And the horn sounds ending overtime. So 65 minutes of hockey. Not enough time to determine a winner here tonight. Wayne Simmonds has had a huge hockey game. His goal late in the third forces overtime, and now a scoreless overtime forces a shootout. For the second time this season, the Predators and Flyers will go to the tiebreaker. We'll have it for you when we return to the Wells Fargo Center in just a moment. Tied at 3 through 3 periods and 5 minutes of play as we get ready for a shootout. The fourth one all time between these teams, the second one this season. Let's find out how we got to this point.
Going back to the first period, it was the Flyers that wanted to get off to a quick start, and they drew first blood. Braden Shen made it 1-0. Then Nashville came back. Nystrom with one from close range. And then David Legwand on a nice play made it 2-1 Nashville after one.
And then it would continue to be 2-1 until with 4 seconds remaining in the second period, Andre Mazzaros jumps up into the plate and drills one to tie the score.
In the third period, it was Shea Weber that blasted one on a power play that gave Nashville the lead. And then the Cardiac Kids did it again. With Steve Mason pulled, Wayne Simmons had one ramp in off a stick. That sent us to overtime. Nothing decided then. Here we go in the shootout.
So, if nothing else, they've had a third period rally to get a point, but they want to make it 2 points. The Predators 0-5 this year in shootouts. They've had particular trouble putting the puck in the net. 1 for 19 are their shooters thus far this year. Carter Hutton has been involved in just one of those shootouts. He stopped 4 of the 5 shots he faced, but got the loss. Flyers 3-3 this year in shootouts and won their last couple. Flyers have chosen to shoot first, and Vinny Lecavalier, who won the game against Nashville with a shootout goal last time, will do the honors. He's 2 for 4 this year, 86% success rate in his career. And again, moves in very slowly and picks up his pace, and Hutton stays with him to make the save.
Boy, that he did. Carter Hutton didn't bite on any of these moves, and Vinny made a pretty decent move to the backhand, and once he got to the backhand, he chipped it up high, but Hutton's glove hand has been really good tonight.
Craig Smith entered this season 5 for 11 in shootouts, but he's 0 for 5 this year. He tries to give the Predators the lead. Straight on it. Save Mason, who is 3 for 3 in the shootout down in Nashville.
Not a lot of movement there by Smith. He's just going to come in and try to move Mason from right to left. And Mason stayed right with him. He did not move until Smith had made his move to take that shot to the post.
Giroux is 3 for 6 this year. And he will swerve on in right then left. Deeks again, and Hutton stayed with him again and kept those legs closed, at least kept his stick there.
Claude Giroux thought he was going to be able to open Hutton up with a couple of these head fakes and stick fakes going 5-hole, but Hutton, great job with the blade of the stick protecting the 5-hole and taking it away from Giroux. That's a nice save.
Legwand, the only Predator who scored this year in a shootout, denied by Mason.
Same thing as we saw with Smith, not a lot of movement. And Legwand's going to just try right at the last second, drop his shoulder and get Mason to open up the 5-hole. Nope. Mason came back down with the pad. The right pad gets it.
Michael Raffl, of course, a hero. A shootout win in Edmonton earlier this year. Cuts on in, and Carter Hutton rejects it.
Carter Hutton has been one of the most patient goalies I've seen all season in the shootout. He just outweights you.
This is a hunch, I would assume. Barry Trotz, Seth Jones' first ever shootout attempt. He can win the hockey game for his club. And he goes. No, sir.
Well, he did a little dipsy-do there, and then he tried to go top shelf up over the shoulder of Mason. This actually was a pretty good shot, but it just missed that far corner.
So Matt Reed gets a chance to put the Flyers on top. He's 0 for 3 this year, but over 40% for his career. And with some speed, Carter Hutton slams the door again.
Now continuing to try to beat Carter Hutton high to the glove. Wasn't much there from Matt Reed.
Gabriel Bourque, 0 for 2 this year. Now, of course, the Predators shooting second. Another chance to win the game. He cuts on in, and Mason flicks it away.
Well, Bourque He's going to come in with some pretty good speed, make up his mind right here. He's going to shoot to the near side. Mason, like he did before, waits, and then gets the blocker on.
Braden Shen goes to work. 0 for 1 this year, 0 for 3 for his career. Scores! His first shootout goal at the NHL level gives the Flyers the lead.
He has been Mr. Clutch for the Flyers the last couple of weeks. Why not? Now the pressure is on Nashville. They have to score because Braden Shen, he shot from the hash marks.
Matt Cullen has to score to keep the Predators alive. He's 0 for 3 this year. Swings left, slows down, holds, fires, and scores. We play on.
Wow. I mean, he just kept going slower and slower and slower. And I always say, whoever goes first, now watch Mason. Mason dipped the shoulder just a little bit. Cullen outweighted him, and Cullen goes up and over the left shoulder of Steve Mason.
So we go to round 6. John Couturier. Couturier will move on in. And he scores! Ended up going head first. Style points don't matter.
I didn't think anybody was going to beat Carter Hutton high to the glove side. Sean Couturier said, "You ain't seen my act yet." What a shot by Couturier.
Both Shen and Couturier were their first ever shootout goals at the NHL level. And so once again, the Predators have to score to continue the game. Ryan Ellis, who is 0 for 2 in his career, racing on in and scores! The Predators stay alive again.
Boy, did Ryan Ellis put a move on here. Goes to the right, and then all of a sudden swoops back to the left to come to the backhand to beat Mason. Head of a play by Ryan Ellis.
So now Wayne Simmons, his first attempt this year, 3 for 12 for his career. To the right. Eeks, and Hutton says no with the glove.
Pretty good move by Wayne Simmons. He showed backhand to Hutton and then pulled it back to the forehand. And again, Hutton with the glove.
So defenseman Roman Josi will go for the Predators. Just 0 for 1 in his career. First attempt this year. Can win it for Nashville. And he does. Roman Josi beating Mason. The Predators win the shootout and take the hockey game by a final of 4-3. Flyers win the shootout down in Nashville. Predators win the shootout here in Philadelphia.
What a hockey game. Roman Josi, we've talked about him being a special player for the Nashville Predators and one of the young core of D-men. When he made this fake here, it looked like he was going to go wide to the side. Steve Mason tried to get back up to one leg to push off to face the deke. And that is how Roman Josi opened him up for the 5-hole goal that ended it for the Nashville Predators.
Predators started the season 1 for 23 on their shots, and then they fired home 3 in a row against Steve Mason.
Well, the player of the game is the guy that could have been a Flyer if Nashville had not matched the big Flyers offer for Shea Weber. He picked up 2 assists in this one and also blasted home one of his patented rockets from the blue line on a power play. So with a goal and 2 assists, Shea Weber is our Bud Light player of the game.
And the Predators get their first shootout win of the year as they improved to 1-5. Flyers, well, they did come from behind again, got themselves a point. They were hoping, of course, it would be 2, but they'll take the 1. And they're back in action on home ice. Saturday night, they begin a home-and-home series with the New York Islanders. Our coverage begins with Flyers pregame live at 6:30. Opening face-off just after 7 o'clock on Comcast Sports. Great hockey game here tonight. Flyers fell behind, came back a couple times, forced overtime in a shootout before the Predators get the win. For the entire crew, as well as Bill Clement and Steve Coates, I'm Jim Jackson. Good night from the Wells Fargo Center. It's time now for Flyers post-game live presented by McDonald's. Here's John Bork.